Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for sailingweather.co.uk and weatherweb.net. This is your sailing weekend and week ahead outlook. We start off with Friday then. First of all, high pressure is centred away towards the southeast. Fronts passing northern Scotland with cloud and outbreaks of rain here, but many places are dry and visibility is pretty good as well. Wind speeds for Friday across the English Channel towards the east at around a south to southwest at around a force 3 or a force 4, more towards a force 4 offshore. Out towards the west, nearing a force 5, certainly towards the west of Land's End, nearer towards a force 6 during the day on Friday. To the Irish Sea, a strong south-southwesterly at around a force 7 to the Irish Sea, into the west of Ireland and Scotland, easily up towards a force 8, or locally getting nearer to a force 9. Eastern regions of England to southwesterly, again at around a force 5 or a force 6, strongest offshore, and lightest wind speeds out towards the southeast of East Anglia, or nearer to a force 4. Similar setup for Saturday, except fronts towards the north are a bit closer across Scotland, with heavy rain across western Scotland and some patchy rain around western parts of Ireland as well. Drizzly rain and low cloud and mist and murk around some of these western coasts and hills through the day on Saturday, so a rather dull picture out towards the west, may just encroach into some of these western regions of the English Channel as well, with lower cloud. Towards the eastern side of England though, across the southeast, largely dry, bright and with warm sunshine, so not feeling too bad at all. Wind speeds for Saturday are south to southwesterly in the English Channel at around a force 4 across central and eastern areas, nearer to a force 5 out towards the west, and again around Land's End and towards the west, nearer to a force 6. In the Irish Sea at a force 7 or a force 8 even in middle parts of the Irish Sea, so a strong south-southwesterly here, and again across western Scotland getting towards a force 8. Force 7 as well on the east coast of England, but a force 6 or locally a force 5 toward the southeast. A front makes its way southwards during Sunday, introducing rain across the Irish Sea for a few hours, also around the western coasts of England, across into Wales, later on into the southwest as well. Bits and pieces of rain, patchy rain out towards the northeast of England, not too much to speak of here, and the whole system making its way southwards. Towards the south and east though, largely staying dry and bright until later in the day, and cloud thickens from the north, maybe just spits and spots getting into East Anglia later on, but towards the north and the west, brightening up across Ireland and across Scotland as well, with brighter skies developing here, 1 or 2 showers in the Western Isles. Now some variations in the wind speeds through Sunday daytime. Toward the southeast it's still a south-southwesterly at around a force 4, locally a little bit lower in shelter. Toward the far southwest though it's a force 5, again locally a force 6 away from Land's End. In the Irish Sea it's a southwesterly force 7, but behind the front, soon dropping and becoming very light and variable, eventually going round to a west or a northwesterly, but may well drop to force 4 or lower, but timing of this uncertain. Eastern England is generally south-southwesterly at a force 6 or a force 5 near to shore. Western Scotland dropping from previous days, but the far northwest still in a southwesterly force 7, may just be force 4 or less around some of the western islands. Now uncertainty with the details through into Monday. Looks like fronts are gradually pushing in towards the south and the west, with low cloud, murky, drizzly, damp conditions encroaching ever further to the Irish Sea, the southwestern approaches across Wales and gradually into western Scotland as well. Overall, the eastern side of the English Channel and the southeast of England, across eastern counties as well, may well stay dry and bright right through the day, but just clouds thickening as the day goes on, and still feeling pretty mild. Now low confidence with the wind speeds for Monday, but toward the southwest most likely to be south-southwesterly at force 7 through the Irish Sea as well, risk of force 6 to force 7 here. More lighter and variable, typically south to southeasterly across eastern Scotland, at around a force 5, but locally much lower in shelter. The south and east of England typically from the south at around a force 3, locally a little bit lower where you are in shelter again, but typically a force 4 to 5, again from the south on some of these eastern coastal regions of England. But just bear in mind these may change with time through the course of Monday, so keep an eye on the forecast. Now a large amount of uncertainty with the details by the time we go through into Tuesday. Small areas of low pressure just passing towards the northwest of Britain produce some complications, with fronts passing these areas with some rain and stronger winds for a time across northern and western areas, and some uncertainty just how far southeast these do extend during the day. High pressure is overall towards the southeast, so driest and brightest and mild again away towards southeast England, but just keep an eye on the details, particularly away towards the west. Tuesday's wind speeds generally from the south at around a force 4 in the English Channel, strongest out towards the west, lightest out towards the east, so a 3 in the east and a 5 in the west. The Irish Sea getting nearer to a force 6 in the west of Ireland, nearer towards a force 7, and again generally from the south, across the eastern coastal counties of England, you're nearer to a force 4. We're still in a mild south to southwesterly pattern through into Wednesday, with low pressure away toward the west, high pressure toward the south and the southeast. Overall, eastern and southern regions staying driest and brightest again, feeling pretty mild if not quite warm, whilst western coastal regions more clagged in with low cloud and the risk of outbreaks of rain and drizzle. And the wind from the south again on Wednesday, with an overall southerly wind in the Irish Sea at around a force 5 or locally a force 6, but again bearing in mind that these details subject to change, so keep an eye on the forecast. Northern and western Scotland, strongest of all, force 7 or higher, out in the far western Isles, and around a force 6 even on the eastern side of England, but again low confidence in the details. Toward the south and the southeast, again it's all from the south, at around a force 3 towards southeast England, near to a force 5 away toward the far southwest. But as I said through that forecast, I must stress the low confidence in the forecast for Monday onwards, with small areas of low pressure just passing towards the northwest of Britain, and occasionally bringing fronts and stronger winds and some outbreaks of rain to western regions. Overall, the south and the east staying dry and bright, with wind speeds mostly light in these areas, but as always keep an eye on the forecasts as we go forwards through the weekend and beyond. That's your very latest video planning outlook though, for the week ahead, here at sailingweather.co.uk and weatherweb.net. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.